I just got 2,500 worms. I've got the top almost done with the swamp cooler, so this is the new project now. 2,500 worms from Uncle Jim's worm farm, and I got some worm food just to start with. I'll make my own here eventually, but just to get rolling. They seem to be happy to get out of those bags. They've been traveling. Section with a two-fan swamp cooler. I already got the swamp cooler built. Everything's about ready to go. Another day probably I'll have it closed in with the top. Here's my little swamp cooler section. This was the best way I could figure out how to make this thing for now. I got 1.5 inch foam here. This is one of my oldest swamp coolers. One of the very first ones I made. I used wood and all kinds of stuff. I've got this tube externally. The newer ones I make, I put this in internally now. Either way, it still works great. This thing's about 10 years old. Works fantastic. 2 fans going. This is the type of pump I've been using. Tried all different ones, and these seem to be, they work great. You get them around $8 to $10 each. And they're made for 12 volts, but I'm running it directly off a solar panel, which is about 20 volts. I did it for years. Works great. I gotta close this off though, because I'll get bees. I don't make them like this anymore. So with my newest project, my little worm bin, I seem to be real happy inside there. 71, so that's good. So I'll build at least one more like this. I'm having to relocate my worm bin, get it in a cooler location. So it's a 3-part little system I got here. This is the swamp cooler section. I'm going to put a float on this today, connect it to this tank. I've been filling it up manually, and that's not a good idea. So that's my project for now. This is showing 115 and 81 inside of the worm bin. 115 outside. There might be a little concentrated heat with this metal, I don't know. It's hard to say. That sounds a little strong. It's only supposed to be 111. Only. So the 111 is about 35 miles from here. I'm closer to Death Valley. It could be 115 easily here. There's no doubt. It's definitely not chilly.